Thanks for being with us on Conquering Retirement with Northern Alliance Financial. I'm Brad Johansen. Our advisors, Peter Hansen and Jeremy Barnard, are with us today. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Let's attack annuities today because we get a lot of buzz about annuities. There's plenty of positive. There's a lot of negative about it. Am I wrong? Are there about 3 types, Peter, that we can deal with? And maybe you can kind of walk us through the fields of annuities?
Sure, I'll initiate that. There are 3 basic types of annuities. Let's start with the most basic. That would be your fixed annuity. So a lot of the big firms, many of the smaller banks, they might even often offer a fixed annuity. It's simple. You've got the annuity, you place a premium into the product. The product says we're going to give you 2, 3, maybe 4% for X amount of years. It's simple. It's basic. That's one extreme of annuities. The other extreme of the annuity would be a variable annuity. A variable annuity, in my estimation, is where some of the negative connotation comes from, given that I've been in this practice for a good period of time and seen people, their fees, their expenses that they have in these products. But a variable annuity, you're going to place the premium into the product. It's usually a one-time premium. But now that premium, those dollars are variable. They're going to adjust based on what's happening in the market. Okay, and there's going to be a hefty fee, usually on a variable annuity. So why not just place your money in the market? In between those two, the fixed and the variable, is something called a hybrid or a fixed indexed annuity. It has the benefit of a CD, the benefit of that first initial product I talked about. You place the money in the annuity. It'll never go down due to market decline. However, it's tied or is touching the market. The market could be an index like the S&P 500, the Dow, or a myriad of other indexes. Reason being is when the market does well, you're going to get reasonable gains. So you're fixed, you can't lose, even when the market goes down. When the market does well, you're taking advantage of it. And that's the one that we would introduce to a client if, in fact, that makes sense for their portfolio.
The only thing I'd want to add to that fixed indexed annuity is that when you get that gain, whatever it is, if it's 2% or 7%, whatever the number is, you lock in that growth at your anniversary, your year anniversary. You lock that number in. I mean, that could be pretty special for, a lot of people. Yeah. It's pretty special.
We have a lot of advisors who are only dealing in life insurance along this. Why is that the case?
Yeah. Well, you only need a life insurance license to offer the fixed indexed annuity. It's good that it's being introduced to the public, but what we find is potential clients or just retirees will be invited to a workshop, and the workshop might be put on by financial professionals. The financial professional may have only a life insurance license. Let's say that client is asking that financial professional, I want to retire, what would you suggest that I do? Chances are the life insurance license only advisor might say, well, let's go into a fixed index annuity or a fixed annuity or one of these products, because that's all that they can offer in the annuity space. So therefore, it may be detrimental to that client in which the advisor might suggest they put too much of their money into that fixed index annuity. We carry 2 licenses. We on Northern Alliance Financial as advisors, we carry our securities license and our life insurance license so that we can truly come up with a comprehensive plan and never placing too much of one set of money into one bucket. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a perfect financial tool. I do have people that I meet with and are like, are you kidding me? I can get stock market growth, lock in the growth, and I never lose a dime.
That's right.
Yes, that's true, but it doesn't mean that it's the perfect financial tool. I think it's important to be balanced as much as possible. Having too much assets in any one portfolio or any one product, I think, is not going to serve people in the long run by any means.
We'll hear the word guarantees. Are there really guarantees attached to all of these, and what do they actually mean?
Yeah, a guarantee, the only time you're going to find a guarantee would be, let's say, a bank, a CD, or a life insurance product. Life insurance products, there's life insurance companies that sell fixed index annuities, they guarantee that you will never lose. In other words, you place the money in there based on the power and strength of that annuity carrier. You're not going to lose anything from it. So they guarantee that. You don't find that in an awful lot of vehicles for retirement. And they guarantee that when the market does well, you're going to be receiving some level of gain. Some of them, they even have a fixed base, which means that every year, even if there's no market increase, you're still going to guarantee a gain on that product. So yeah, there are guarantees. It's the one product that we can offer in our arsenal that actually carries guarantees as opposed to, securities markets.
Yeah, and it's literally a contract that we deliver to people. It's contractually guaranteed. It's a special contract of law. It's not going to go down. that part is just guaranteed with a capital G, and it's unique and it's really important.
Being a life insurance product, it carries the weight of being a life insurance product, meaning, let's say that you're going to have a beneficiary. You're always going to have a beneficiary on that life insurance product or that fixed index annuity. So when you die, your beneficiary is going to receive those funds, and it will avoid probate. It avoids the whole judicial system. It just goes right to your beneficiaries.
We always go back to 2022 and how devastating it was for so many people. Have you seen a client in a situation where you're dealing with these annuities that actually somehow benefited? And I suppose benefited would be, I didn't lose anything in 2020. That would be a huge benefit. Have you seen people like that?
I mean, I would say the overwhelming majority of my clients have some level of their assets in these types of annuities. So yeah, people were coming in, and it was kind of a unique situation. It felt a little funny because they were getting zeros. Their accounts weren't growing for the year, but they were super happy about it. You know, because again, if you had it in the stock market, you were losing 15, 20, maybe more percent. When we're starting to grow back now, you just have to grow from that base again. You don't have to make up from a loss. So this is a great time. We're going to start seeing annuities really do well. Long term, they're not going to keep up with the growth rates in a properly diversified stock portfolio, but there'll be little periods like this where they're very attractive and they actually look like they might be outperforming them. Again, if they do, it's temporary because we had a down market and because we're starting to grow in the market and these annuities. Yeah. It's an interesting time.
This is part of that risk management that having a plan and figuring it out, where do you need to be, becomes so crucial at this point.
Exactly, Jeremy's exactly right. I mean, let's say that during 2001, somebody had a bucket of money, $100,000, and they placed that into an S&P ETF.
Okay.
That's the equity-based, and the market dropped 20%. You dropped 20%. If you had that $100,000 in a fixed index annuity and the S&P dropped 20%, you still have $100,000. That's powerful. We would never suggest somebody put all of their eggs in one basket, all of their assets in one bucket. So certainly we diversify. But let's say that person put $50,000 in the S&P and $50,000 in the market. In an annuity and the market.
Okay.
And the market dropped 20%. They're only down 10% of their overall investment because the annuity lost nothing. So it's a powerful vehicle for a portion of somebody's asset, which they're glad they have. I mean, we had so many stories of clients calling us saying, thanks for recommending that product, because who knew 2022 was going to come this year? And look, we didn't lose anything in that guarantee, contractual guarantee. They lost nothing in that product.
The point is that we're trying to figure out how to do this, which is something that we're offering you. It is a book. Come in for an appointment. The book is free. The title, Conquering Retirement. Our CEO has penned this for you as part of a plan to deal with, what are your goals? How do I worry about Social Security? Can I answer some of the questions about adjusting that? Where are my taxes? How do I deal with that? I've been widowed. Is there a way for me to deal with the situation when I didn't really understand what was going on before this? Well, we're talking about annuities and where they are and what we need to do. It's all in the book. But beyond that, this is free when you come to a visit. What's most crucial is the visit is free. The plan is free. Putting you in a situation where you can be free. This is the time to call. 877-241-7430. Let us help you conquer retirement. We'll be right back.
Our team at Northern Alliance is very diverse in terms of the services that we offer.
We do take a team-based approach.
We carry multiple licenses so that clients can do everything within the Northern Alliance financial team.
If it has anything to do with retirement, that's what we specialize in.
Budget planning, tax considerations, Social Security strategies, risk management, long-term care, Medicare, health planning, as well as legal and estate planning.
We really are a one-stop shop.
There's Lance Gilman, Peter Hansen, Jeremy Barnard, myself. We do have a staff that is great.
In Maine, we have multiple locations to cover the vast array of the state.
You know, you can come in and have a conversation in person. And a lot of people are looking for these days. Things after COVID have changed to more Zoom, phone call sort of things. And we'll do those things, but we appreciate and would rather have you come in person and have a conversation face to face like this.
We're pretty approachable, and we're going to listen to you. We're going to try to determine what your needs, your aspirations, those goals are, and then we're going to do everything that we possibly can to help you meet those goals.
It's lighthearted, it's carefree. We laugh like crazy. An atmosphere that I don't think is common in a lot of other practices.
We were talking about how well the team is bonding together, how similarly we all think in that what we do, we want to actually make a difference.
Average everyday people helping average everyday people.
You know, we truly do put the client first.
Our mantra has been, when you take care of people, people take care of you.
We're glad you're with us on Conquering Retirement. I'm Brad Johansson with Northern Alliance Financial, Peter Hansen and Jeremy Bernhardt. Guys, so many questions to answer, especially when we're dealing with annuities and we're trying to find that perfect investment. Is there a perfect insurance product, Peter, that is out there for you now?
There's no perfect anything. Usually it's a combination of products and or services and or investments. But for a portion of somebody's retirement, there is a very good product, a very good vehicle. Like anything, everything has a drawback. When people are investing money, especially in retirement, everybody wants three things. Everybody wants good growth when the market does well. Everybody wants protection from market downside. And most people say, if I change my mind, I want to get all my money back. So let's talk about equity investing. The majority of what we do is investing in the market for our clients. When we're equity investing, you get the good growth when the market does well. You have 100% liquidity. If you're over 59.5, you can pull your money out, but what you give up is a certain level of protection. So on the theme of annuities, which is what we're talking about today, the two that you get, you're going to get good market growth when the market does well.
Okay.
You have protection from downside, but you give up a % of liquidity. So therefore, we would never put too much of somebody's asset into an annuity because they ask that you keep that there for a duration of time, a period of time. But that would be the portion of money that we're going to set aside to create a defined income stream for somebody in later life to supplement Social Security. So again, it's a lengthier conversation, but everybody wants those three things. You can only get two in any one investment vehicle.
You have people coming in, Jeremy, looking for that perfect and going, let me see if I can find something close.
I'm working on the perfect tool, just FYI, okay? When it comes out, everyone, he'll be the first to know. Yeah, of course. I see it all the time. It's part of our normal conversation on a daily basis, talking about these types of products that protect your base. You're never going to lose. What peace of mind can you get there? And also, where else can you find that? There's not too many places.
Yeah.
Peter, we've been doing this for over 9 years now together. We've seen the power of these over a significant period of time. We know how to design them. The work that we have to put into them to make sure they're staying on track is only once a year. So even for the individual or the contract holder, whoever has the money, it's not an arduous thing that they have to check their phone every day the S&P 500 goes down or goes up and yada, yada, yada.
Man, you got a lot of people doing that.
Oh, yeah. It's
Heading out on the golf course and playing golf, and between every shot, they're grabbing their phone and seeing what the market's doing right now.
Yeah, it drives some people crazy. Yeah. More sophisticated investors might be able to handle it. At least they put a good face on it. I've gone through my fair share of oh, geez, what is my portfolio doing? So even for me, and I know what I'm doing, relatively speaking anyway, I know what I'm doing, it's still dramatic when I lose money in any vehicle, let alone the stock market. Setting something in place, making sure guarantees are going to happen. I love what you talked about, the income stream.
Right.
It made me think of anybody that absolutely hates annuities and doesn't think they should look at it. I was like, well, Social Security is an annuity. You put in a certain amount of money and then you get paid out money for the rest of your life. That is an annuity in essence. So if you don't like annuities, you probably like your Social Security, right?
Probably have one.
You're probably involved in something. We talk about putting money in different buckets, and people will hear that and I go, I don't exactly know what that means. Give me a bucket stream of ups and downs of things that you probably should have as diversification goes.
Well, you certainly want a safety bucket, right? An emergency bucket in case you need to go grab some. You want some money, as far as a second bucket, invested in the market. It's been proven that having money in the market is really the only way to hedge against inflation, okay? So with that market money when the market does well. You also want a bucket for some level of income stream, but I'll give you an even better example of why somebody wants money in different buckets. So in 2022, when the market was down, by the middle of that year, I think we were down 10% because we ended up 20% by the end of the year on the downside. chances are if they're our client, they're probably drawing income from some level of bucket. In 2021, the market was doing well. We were probably drawing income for that client to subsidize their Social Security from the equity base that we had because the market was performing more than they were drawing from that account. But by the time March rolled around, we turned off the income stream from that equity base, and now we start drawing from that fixed index annuity because that didn't go down just because the market did. So we change where we're going to draw income from to make our clients' assets last longer. And then in this year, the market's doing better than it was in 2022. We might have turned on that income coming from the equity base that's invested in the stock market. So that's one reason why you want to have different buckets in a financial firm that knows how to do that.
I love the way you're bringing that up. It's exactly what I talk about with my clients in different market conditions, which, there are going to be others than just a down stock market. But the more buckets and diverse buckets of asset classes that we have, the more options we have when one of them falls apart or one of them isn't acting like we want it to. Well, maybe there's one or two that is. And then next year when that switches, again, we bob and we weave with whatever the market conditions are. Hopefully not disrupting their retirement plan. That's the whole goal. And I think you're pointing that out beautifully.
You'll have people to go, okay, I need all of this. Look, I'm in a really tough situation the way the economy is right now. I don't have an emergency bucket, so I probably can't come in and talk to you. Wrong answer?
Yeah, I would say you still want to come in and talk to us. Sometimes they can be generated or created. We can't make that out of thin air, but sometimes it makes sense to do some sort of a conversion from forever tax dollars to never tax dollars, going from traditional to Roth, absorbing that hit, taking the tax hit that year because it would be more beneficial to do it now than later. But yes, we can still go ahead and create some tax-free dollars that you can draw down when you need it. It's important to have all this set in place before a 2022 were to come about. And that's what we've been preaching for so many years. I know we've talked about that before. What did we learn from 2022? We learned that having the strategy that we have been implementing for our clients was proven right. We were right.
The problem is there's another 2022 coming.
Without a doubt.
I mean, we don't know when.
Yeah, right.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
And the situation is you need to plan for that. Have you put it in a plan? Do you have your buckets set? Do you know which buckets you have? How much is in each? Let us help you. This is what we're here for. Come in. Get a complimentary plan. The visit's free. The plan is free. As a matter of fact, we have something else that's free. Conquering Retirement that talks about all of these things with the annuities, with the taxes, with the incomes, with the Social Security, with Medicare. Have you considered any of this? Let us do the work for you so that we can help you conquer retirement. The time is now, 877-241-7430. Let us be a part of your conquering retirement, and we'll be right back.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Ben. Hey, birthday party for Carol and 5. Happy birthday to you.
Good morning, Ben. Happy Monday.
Daryl's birthday, be there every square. Happy birthday to you. You can see from our quarterly report on slide number 62, we're trending in the right direction. All signs point to a very positive outlook for the next several years. If you peel back the onion...
Ben, do you have anything to add?
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Thanks for being with us on Conquering Retirement with Northern Alliance Financial. The faces that you see are Peter and Jeremy here, but guys, there are people behind the scenes that we don't see on this. Can we talk about your team? Because you've got a couple of your team with us as we're taping some of these shows.
Yeah. We have Darcy with us as well as Ashley. And despite my strong recommendations, they don't want to be on TV with us, unfortunately. They form such an important backbone to everything that we do. You know, we're on TV, we're doing these seminars, we're on radio, we're doing all kinds of things. You know, they're the people that keep the engine going at Northern Alliance, making sure people's phone calls are being answered, when they need withdrawals, that's getting done. When they have basic questions about different types of accounts, it's everybody back in the back office that's fielding all of that. So it's quite a team back there.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. There's more than that too. We have other people at the back office. It's a whole operation to make this operation run smoothly, because so that it gives Jeremy and I and Lance and Derek the opportunity to spend time in front of our clients with reviews, to spend time for those 3-4 complimentary visits with people we don't even know yet, that aren't even our clients, to see if we can build a plan together with them. So there has to be that level of operation behind the scenes. We couldn't do it without them. We're glad that they're with us, and we're glad that the ones that are back up holding the fort down is holding the fort down.
And there's a perception of folks that may see you on TV. As a matter of fact, people who may be close to you, Jeremy.
Yes.
Tell me what you experienced with your uncle.
So I was driving, to an appointment somewhere, and I got a phone call from my uncle, who will remain nameless, out of the Brewer area. And he says, "Hey, Jeremy, saw you guys on TV. You looked great. What a nice infomercial you were doing." And it was an interesting kind of response that I had. Certainly, it's Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings. I guess that's his perspective. We're not dealing with Ginsu knives here or anything by any means. What we're talking about is sharing critically important information. And we do that here on TV. We do it in seminars, in person. We do it on radio. And the reality is, I just think we like this stuff so much. It's so interesting. All of us have so much passion and interest and drive. Lance, of course, writing his book that he wrote that takes a lot of the components of what we do for clients and put it into a book and codified it and said, here, you can read what we do on top of it. We're boosting up our social media presence. We want to get this information out, partly because obviously we like it and it's super interesting, but where else are you going to go to get really good information? Are you going to Google this stuff? Maybe.
Scary.
Be careful. Yeah. I wouldn't want to bet my retirement on a Google financial Google search.
I like
sure.
Dr. Google. All right, we've been talking about fixed annuities. What percentage of your clients, Peter, are we dealing with who are in that fixed annuity situation?
I would say 85 to 90% of my clients have some bucket with annuity dollars in there. It's that important. But again, it's that very specific fixed indexed annuity. Some of the fees that these companies offer are so low, some of these companies don't even charge a fee. Yeah. In 2022, because of the fear of losing more money in the market, money was rushing towards fixed index annuities because people learned about them. They would Google, where can I place money that's not going to lose due to market decline? So yes, I would say 85 to 90% of my clients have at least a portion of their asset in that fixed index annuity for that level of safety, with those guarantees for an income stream for the rest of their life.
I'm curious if you're seeing what I'm seeing too, Pete, that younger and younger people are being attracted to these annuities. I've got some clients in their 30s, only a couple, not many, but a couple who are like, I want nothing to do with the stock market.
Right.
And it's an interesting kind of trend. It's slow. It's not happening often. I wouldn't professionally recommend that. But if that's what's important to them, they care about safety and growth. They want nothing to do with whether or not the S&P 500 does well or doesn't. And I respect that.
Every person is different.
Yeah.
And the plan is individualized. So we're so grateful for you watching, for coming to us and trusting us with your money, really with your life, trying to figure out how to conquer retirement. Some of you are a little afraid to ask questions. There are a few who have, so I want to address some of the folks who have asked the questions. Sheila in Portland came to us and said, can you explain what advantages there are for somebody who is choosing a smaller Maine-based firm over a big national name? Crucial question here.
That's a good question. And I think sometimes people are shy to voice that question to us, but they come in and see what we have to offer anyway. I used to work for a large national company. And what I found, I worked there for a short duration of time, was what I found is that it was truly a sales job. The sales manager would go up on the board in the morning and say, hey guys, this is the product that we'd like to push this month. There's great bonuses in it. You'll get points that will take you as the advisor and your family to a trip to Aruba. It was a sales job. And we were more so pushing products. We didn't talk about Social Security. We didn't help them with their legal and estate planning. There was no tax checking to make sure that they weren't paying too much in taxes. It was all about a sales job. As opposed to an independent firm, we're ingrained in the community. We're sitting across from the clients face to face. We know the local firms to refer them to for estate planning. We have direct connections with the CPAs when we need to do a Roth conversion. It's a little bit different. In that they feel, we've acquired a fair amount of clients that were with the big box places because they wanted that smaller community feel. And also, we don't have, we're not captive to certain contracts. We're independent. When we go shopping for an annuity, which is the topic today, we can go get any annuity that makes the most sense for that client. We literally go shopping. We do that for Medicare. We do that for the insurance products. It's wonderful. And that's a good reason why.
This is the holistic plan that we're
right.
talking about throughout it. All right. Jeray in Winslow says, I have been at my job 37 years, plan to retire April of 2024. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
I have a pension. Some of my coworkers suggesting that I take the monthly payment from the pension for security. My supervisor suggests I move the lump sum out so that I'm in control. Tell me what's best.
Yeah, what a question. What an important question, too. And congratulations, of course, on retirement looming. That's exciting. It's great. The nice part of this question is that it is a mathematical answer. We can mathematically look at this and determine if it's in somebody's best interest. Sometimes pensions are amazing and do great things and protect people, and the payout rates can be really, really high in some situations. But we want to make sure you're in the right situation. If you're not, lump sum distributions are definitely a possibility. But again, I want to make sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted before we do a lump sum distribution. We've got amazing things that we can do with that money as well. But if it's already in a good place, we'll keep it there, and then we'll deal with other aspects. But
That's a good point. As a fiduciary, we can only make a recommendation to a client if in fact it's in their best interest. As a salesperson, you might be inclined to take that as a lump sum and go put it into an annuity. But as a fiduciary, we're not going to do that. If in fact it's their best interest to keep it right there, we'll suggest you keep it right there.
Great answers. Peter, Jeremy, thank you, as always. And thank you for being with us. We appreciate you. Want to help you? Make the call now. The plan is free. The book is free for people who come in. 877-241-7430. We're grateful for you. Want to help you continue conquering your retirement. We'll see you next time.